The Nintendo Switch 2 is finally official, and it's generating a lot of hype in the gaming world. Marques Brownlee, a well-known tech YouTuber, has been one of the first people to review it, and his thoughts are actually a mix of praise and critique. So before we review what he has to say, let's explore the new features of the Nintendo Switch 2 and see what sets this console apart from the original Nintendo Switch, and is it worth buying? The first thing that you can't miss is a bigger screen size. This one has a 7.9-inch LCD touchscreen display instead of the 6.2-inch panel in the previous model. It also has a better Full HD resolution and 120Hz refresh rate, going up from the 60Hz in the previous Switch. This is crucial for fast-paced gameplay. So not only is the screen better, but the performance has improved as well, as we would expect. The Switch 2 runs on the NVIDIA Tegra T239 processor, and this one supports DLSS and ray tracing so that the Switch 2 can get smoother frame rates and even 4K output when docked. The design itself has also seen significant upgrades. The Joy-Con controllers now attach magnetically. They easily clip onto the side, and this one feels much better than the previous Switch controllers. They address the long-standing drift issue seen in the original Switch. But Marques Brownlee highlights that the Switch 2 leans into social gaming. He does point out that there is a new controller button, and that allows players to share screens and microphones with their friends in real time while playing the game. The demo actually shows this, but it does show some lag as well. But one of the major concerns is pricing, and that's not for the console itself, but for the games. And Marques points out that some Switch 2 titles are reaching nearly $100, which feels really steep for Nintendo Switch games, especially when compared to typical PC game pricing. This could turn off a lot of buyers, because I know other consoles like the Steam Deck, Rogue Ally, and Legion Go are for a different audience of gamers, but they're still handheld gaming devices in a similar price range. So there are other options out there for people wanting a handheld gaming device. So let's take a look at the Steam Deck OLED. This one also has a large screen of 7.4 inches. It has a better OLED display. It only has 90Hz refresh rate. And while its architecture resembles more of like a PS4, its access to the vast Steam library gives it a huge edge in flexibility. And if PC games are your thing, you can also go for the Asus ROG Ally, which is more powerful than the Steam Deck, but less polished. I've been using this one personally for about a year now, and I do think it's another serious competitor. It's got the AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, and this one also has a 120Hz IPS touchscreen display. While it does give you access to the Steam library, it does feel less polished than the Steam Deck, and it's definitely not going to be as smooth as something like the Nintendo Switch 2. So while the Nintendo Switch 2 isn't trying to beat PC handhelds like the Steam Deck or Asus ROG Ally in pure performance, it makes smart moves towards the screen, comfortability, efficiency, and the overall experience. But with the expensive game pricing, it is going to be quite competitive with the other consoles. Nintendo will need to lean heavily on its exclusives, user-friendly design, and that signature Switch charm to justify its place in the handheld space. If you want to learn more about the Nintendo Switch 2, I've made a full article on my website, and I'll include the link to that in the description below. And if you want to find the links to the products mentioned in this video, I will also leave them in the description below.